What up, world? Welcome to Ancestral Intelligence, where technology, art, and ancestral wisdom meet. I'm Shiro, your host, and today I'm going to take you on a journey how I first got into tech, programming, music, and modular synthesis, and I'm going to show you how it all connects. So to start things off, I just want to kind of bring you guys into my world and how I got started with computers and coding and modular synthesis and how this kind of comes together. So I first got online, it was back in the 90's, and it was like stepping into a whole new universe. Back then the internet was a wild frontier and the connection was super slow dial-up, but it was just still exciting because it was so new. And one of the things I remember, one of my earlier discoveries was this company named Macromedia. They later got sold, Adobe acquired them later, but they had a technology called Shockwave, and then later another technology called Flash. This was for animation, but these tools were magical to me because, especially Flash, it wasn't just a design tool. It had a programming language called ActionScript, and that's where I fell in love with coding. And the thing that was cool about it is, you could do things from, doing more frame by frame animation, or you could, do UX design, or you could, code a website. It was limitless, and that's something that really sparked my imagination. And, because it wasn't just about animation with ActionScript, I realized I can make interactive art and animation driven by code. So that totally planted the seed for generative art for me. I started learning another program called processing. That's a tool that's made for artists to experiment with code, and that was my first serious dive into creating art that could evolve based on algorithms. So that was a very interesting time because I do have a background of painting and drawing. And when you come into the world of code, you would never fathom that code could be used creatively. You just think it's used to, program websites or, to make things, electronic devices work or whatever. But being introduced to code and then showing that there could be a correlation to art was like super exciting to me. So on the other side of my brain, I was exploring Native Instruments Reactor, and just looking at the synths that they made, and you're able to lift the hood up and see how they're constructed with these little function blocks again, which is likened to node-based programming. And that later led me to MaxMSP. So as some of you know, that these are tools that enable you to build instruments with code. So I really loved experimenting with not only creating instruments, but then creating generative soundscapes and weird patches and stuff with the instruments and sound modifiers and effects that I was designing in these programs. It was really fun. And of course, that eventually led me to building a modular synthesizer. And that was like stepping into the analog version of MaxMSP and Reactor. So it wasn't a foreign concept to me. It was just tactile, which made it a lot more fun to play the patches and to, get hands-on with the music. And that's when I really started noticing the correlation between node-based programming and modular synthesis. And then even on the nature side of it, like mycelium networks are very similar to these systems. And that's when I started putting the whole puzzle together. So I just wanted to thank you for joining me. This is the first episode of Ancestral Intelligence. I just wanted to start with giving you my backstory because it shapes everything I do, from music to animation to modular synths. So next time we're going to dive deeper into the storytelling side of things, how I use AI and animation to tell stories that connect us all. So at this time, this concludes my mini introduction podcast, and I would love it if you would like, subscribe, share, leave comments, leave questions, and let's just get things started. Peace and love.